morning, children. Welcome to Mary Lucas School and College online teaching classes for the academic year 2021 and 22. I am Mrs. J. Frank and I am going to teach you geography. The first lesson is representation of geographical features. So today, children, what topic we are going to cover of this lesson is we are going to study about topographical survey maps. Second, use of colors on topographical sheets, and third is the grid reference. So these are the three topics we'll learn about today. So as I start, first is topographical survey maps. Topographical survey maps, they are known as topo sheets also, are large-scale maps based on accurate survey of the land. These maps show the natural features of the ground such as hill elevation, drainage, trees and vegetation. So why are these topographical maps used? They are used for showing all these natural features. Secondly, the reason why it is being used, they also show man-made features such as towns, villages, buildings, roads, canals, bridges and other cultural features in detail. So apart from all these natural features, they also show man-made features like towns, villages and different man-made features. Topographical maps are useful for planning of roads, irrigation and town plans. Also, natural and man-made features are portrayed by means of symbols or conventional signs. So apart from showing the natural features, topographical maps are also used to show the man-made features. And man-made features, under that comes roads, canals, bridges, town planning, irrigation. Irrigation means, children, the supply of water to land or crops to help growth. Means irrigation is related to water, supply of water to fields and different places where there is lack of water, and it is done through canals also. Now, what is the purpose of topographical maps? What is the purpose means? What is the importance of using topographical maps in geography? The first importance of it is that they are used as guide for travel. So these maps are used, these maps serve as a guide for travel. Secondly, they are used for military purposes. Thirdly, for students of geography, they are very useful to study the regional geography of an area in detail. So if one wants to study detailed study about a particular area, then you should refer to topographical maps, because that gives you a detailed study of that particular area. Then how is topographical maps useful? The topographical maps provide useful information to engineers, surveyors, town planners, tourists, geographers and geologists. They are also useful for navigation. So these are some of other uses of topographical survey maps. And navigation means planned movement of ship or aircraft. For this also you need the use of topographical survey maps, because it helps you to direct your movement. It helps you to locate the places where you have to travel. So this is very important use of, one of the important use of the topographical survey maps. In India, topographical maps were prepared by Survey of India Department. Sir George Everest, on whose name Mount Everest has been named, was the most famous Surveyor General of India. So over here what we studied is about the use of topographical maps in geography and what is the reason why it is used in geography. Now next topic which we come is use of colors, that is the second topic, use of colors on topographical sheets. So you all have seen maps and you have seen that maps are quite colorful with different colors. So the color is not there to beautify the map or make it beautiful, but it does make the map look beautiful. But the importance of it is that these colors which is used in the map, they all has a significance. It holds an importance and it has certain meaning. So let us study what these colors signify in a map. Apart from that, these colors, it also has signs and symbols. Signs and symbols are also used in maps, and they too have some significance or importance. They tell us about particular features of the landforms. So, use of colors on topographical sheets. The natural and man-made features on topographical maps are shown in color. So, we use to show man-made and natural features in a map through colors. Each color used on maps has its own significance, means it has its own importance. These colors are universally accepted both for interpretation of survey sheets and map pointing. So all these colors which has been used in the map, it has been accepted worldwide. It means all the countries accept it, and that is why these colors have been used in all types of maps, and it helps us to interpret. Interpret means the explanation of maps or survey sheets. It becomes easier when we use one universal thing, that is everyone accepts the same color, so it becomes easier for explaining of the maps. And now I'll read you a table in which the colors are given and what all these colors represent in a map. When we are using a map, and when we find these colors in a map, in the key given or the legend in the map, what does all these signify or represent? Firstly is yellow. Yellow represents cultivable land, plateaus, deserts and plains. It means cultivable land means where you can grow crops, that is cultivable land. Plateaus, deserts and plains, these are the different landforms. Green represents forest area or lowland area. White represents rocky area or bad land, hence uncultivable land, means where nothing can be grown. Blue represents perennial lined wells, perennial streams, lakes, ponds and water bodies in general. So blue color, all of you know, it represents water and the different forms of water bodies. And over here children, perennial. Perennial means lasting or is existing for a long time. Brown. Brown represents contour lines, their heights and relief features like mountains. So brown is also usually represented with mountains, showing mountains. And contour lines, what does that mean? Contour means an outline representation or bounding the shape or form of something. That is the meaning of contour. Black represents dry streams and surveyed trees. Red represents permanent huts, settlements and cities. Now these are the meaning of all these different colors which are used in maps and what they represent. The meaning of each color, they represent something or the other. Now the third thing which we come is the grid reference. What is the grid reference? To locate a man-made or natural feature or conventional sign or symbols given on the topographical survey sheet, one must know how to read the grid reference given on the map. So grid is actually lines drawn vertical or horizontal on a globe or a map. If you see the map or globe carefully, you will find vertical lines and horizontal lines drawn on it. The topographical maps bear the national grid of square drawn to a scale of 2 centimeters. If you see over here, I have drawn 3 A, B and C figures over here. Now figure A, if you see, you can find over here the vertical lines which are numbered from west to east are called vertical lines which are numbered from west to east. This is from west to east. The numbers you can see is 23, 24, 25, 27 and then 28. It is starting from the west and it is going towards the east. So these vertical lines, these are the vertical lines, and they begin from the west and it goes towards the east. So this is known as eastings, and the measurement, that is the scale which represents, is 2 centimeter each square. If you can see over here, the topographical maps bear the national grid or square drawn to the scale of 2 centimeter over here, which is equal to 1 kilometer, with each square having size measuring 1 kilometer. So these sides are 1 kilometer, and over here each square is 2 kilometers, but 2 centimeters, sorry. So 2 centimeters on the ground, it represents 1 kilometer. For studying the topographical survey map of an area, the grid reference is of vital practical importance. Why the grid is important? Because it helps us to locate places on the earth. Anywhere, any place you can locate with the help of the grid reference. So the first A part, that is figure A, it shows you the eastings. In the eastings, the numbers are starting from the west and it comes towards the east. So that is why it is known as the eastings. Now the figure B represents the horizontal lines. These are the horizontal lines which are numbered from south to the north. You can see it is beginning from south, that is 74, 75, 76, 77, 78. It is starting from the south and it is going upwards towards the north. So what are these known as? They are known as northings, because it begins from the north and it is going towards it. The horizontal lines which are numbered from south to north are called northings. It begins from the south and it goes towards the north, and they are known as northings. And these are horizontal lines. The eastings are vertical lines. They begin from the west and moves towards the east, so they are known as eastings. And the northings, they begin from the south and it goes towards the north, so they are known as northings. So these vertical and horizontal lines, these are showing vertical and these are showing horizontal lines. And when we form a grid, these two network of lines, that is the vertical and the horizontal line together, you can see these are the vertical lines and these are the horizontal lines. So these together, they form a network of lines. You can see they form squares of equal sizes. So this network together, both the vertical and the horizontal lines together, they form a grid. So what are grid? Grids are actually eastings and northings together. They become the grid, and they are also known as a grid reference. So these are important because anywhere when you have to locate places on earth anywhere, so with this two things you can locate any place anywhere on the earth. Over here you can see the point where the vertical and the horizontal lines meet. From there you can locate a place. This network of vertical and horizontal lines, or the eastings and the northings together, is called a grid. It is also identified as the grid reference. Reading the grid reference. How do we read the grid reference? The following points as per the convention should be kept in mind while reading the grid reference. The first is, origin is the southwest corner of the map. The reading on the map is always taken with reference to this origin. Means whenever we are reading in the map, we should begin from the south and go towards the west. That is south, and up we move this side, it is west. South to west. Over here, if you see the map over here, it is from the south, you move towards the west. This side is the west. So when we read the map, because the origin of the map takes place from the south to the west. Eastings are always read to the east of the origin, because as it is from the east, the eastings are always read from the east as they start from the east. Third point, northings are always read to the north of the origin. As they start from the north, they are known as northings and it is read from the north. While giving a grid reference, eastings are always stated first, followed by the northing. So when we are reading the grid, then what do we do first? We always take eastings first and then the northings. The reading of the eastings is taken first and then the reading of the northings together. So how do we do it? For locating a feature, for figure grid reference is used. Example, 4-figure grid reference of the town Sangla is 9274. That is, it means easting will be 92 and plus northing will be 74. So together when we total it, it will be 92 and 74 together. That will be 9274. The 4-figure grid reference of the temple in the south direction of the map is 9470. That is, 94 is easting and 73 is northing. So this is how we find out the grid on a map. We stop here today, children, and we have covered the 3 topics of this lesson 1, that is the representation of geographical features. I have divided it into 2 parts. This is a part 1 which we have done today. That is topographical survey maps, second, use of colors on topographical sheets, and the grid reference. The next we will do the left part in the next class. Till then, bye bye.